Okay, boys, we got a 2020 Ford Transit medium. This is emergency vehicle, the big ones, the ambulance. It's an ambulance basically, and complaint is no crank. We've got all the bunch of lights on, and supposedly the car was starting. Someone came to add and program an additional key, and once they did that, the car wouldn't start. They told me it does not have communication with the ABS module. So I just connected up to scan the modules and see what we got. But I did notice something as soon as I came here. See if anybody else notices it. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed. So, and that. And supposedly there was an accident on the side, and this side was repaired. So I also noticed this. That's not right. So we're gonna check that out. Something else I saw. See the connector? Go keep going, see what else we got. Look at this. Hooked up test light to battery positive, and I'm just gonna hit it right now for now. Still using that screw on the ground point, and we got a good ground. Test it out. Okay, key on, crank, no crank. Okay, try the other key. Same. All right, if you saw the diagram, it looks like high-speed CAN 2 is off, and it looks like it most likely starts here, and from here it goes to the ABS module, and the ABS module is offline, and it terminates at the steering column control module, which has the terminating resistor for this module. Every leg of the network has a terminating resistor, if you saw the diagram, and this one ends here. So I'm going to check here. I'm going to use the ultimate CAN bus tester. If you don't know about it, I'm going to have a link of it in the video, in the description. Check it out. This thing kills problems like this. So we're going to start right here, see what we get here. Then we're going to come to the end of the network, which is steering column control module, and we're going to test it here. Okay guys, this is from the steering column control module. That's right here. It plugs in right here. I went ahead and unplugged it, and if you saw the diagram, we're going to be getting the high-speed CAN 2 network, which is on pin number 4 and 5. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3. So that green and orange, and the blue and gray is our target. So those are the two cables, CAN high and low right there, these last two. So I'm probed into those CAN high and CAN low, and this is the reading we're getting right now. We're at about 3 on CAN high and 1.5 on CAN low, and it is not plugged in. So I was just seeing if there was some kind of reading on the bus. So this reading that we're seeing is from other devices on the network, which terminates at this gateway, right? So there's one terminating resistor inside this gateway, and the other one is here. So that's what, in the steering column control module, that's what terminates this high-speed CAN 2 network. So we're going to plug this back in, and we're going to see if that changes, and then we're also going to connect our scanner here and see if we can communicate back to the gateway. From the gateway, we cannot communicate with anything on this bus, so we're going to try it backwards now from our scanner and going to the gateway and see if we can communicate to the gateway. Okay, I went ahead and plugged it back in to the column, and we're getting at about 2.5 and about 2 on the CAN low. So we're going to now plug in the scanner. Let's see what we get. There was no communication with anything. I went ahead and connected my multimeter to the ports on the ultimate CAN bus tester so I can check resistance, and I'm getting 120, 119 basically. So that's showing one terminating resistor on the network. And if I had to assume, it would be this this steering column module. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is unplug it from the module and see if this stays the same or if this goes to infinity. Okay, and now it goes to infinity, and I've got it unplugged. So that tells me in the line going back from this to make it all the way back to the gateway, there's a connector most likely disconnected or damaged wiring cut, and it's not making it back to this gateway. So we're going to have to retrace and find where the problem is. And the first place I think we should start is here and see if we have connectivity here, because I believe this camera is the first spot on the network. All right, guys, I'm connected up. So this is the output from the camera, and it's on, let me put some light here. It's on these two cables, the green and orange, and the one next to it, the gray and blue. And I'm getting no signal back to the steering column module or to the gateway. So there's a cut somewhere. So what I want to do too is look for where this goes, if it might come down here or there to make it down back to this gateway. So I'm going to try first this side and see if I see anything, because this was all open like this. People have been doing stuff, so it could be something halfway plugged in, unplugged, cables ripped out, something. Right, so here's where we're at now. I tested from the glass to here, no connectivity. I went ahead and disconnected the gateway, and I found the that same network, HS2-CAN 2, which is this gray and blue and the orange and green right here. And I have no connectivity to here or to here. So I need to find all the different junctions and start going backwards from this gateway and forward, and most likely that's where it's going to be the issue. I'm going to have to continue on this, so I'm going to pull up the junctions and I'm going to come back and hit this tomorrow. See you on the next one, guys. Hit that thumbs up button. All right, guys, I'm back at the desk, and in talking to the customer, he told me up under the dash where the wiring is for the gateway and all this, the BCM, there was someone that worked there and was pulling out a bunch of wires and, you know, playing with stuff under there, and they kind of had the dash pulled out. So, and then he thought it had to do with programming a key, but from what he explained to me, I'm pretty sure it had to do with someone playing under the dash with all this wiring and not someone inserting the key into the ignition that caused this no communication issue and this no crank issue. So what I've noticed in reviewing the diagram now, high-speed CAN 2 network is us, right? This is the network that is completely down. And on pins 12 and 13 here, this connector 263, it looks like there's only two networks that are using that. And I'm not sure if this one, just went to double check with someone that was working on this vehicle, and he said there was a module, an audio module he saw online, but it is not on this network. So it's a good chance our problem is going to be at connector C263. So let me pull up where that is, because that 263 is what joins this network to the gateway and everything else. And I cannot, with no battery power, I have no physical connection to the gateway connector, as you saw from the steering wheel module or from the camera on the windshield, which is one of the first devices on this network. So that means there's a physical connection down somewhere, and this would be a very good place to start, because I'm pretty sure this might be right there under the dash. So let's pull this up. Okay, here is the connector, and it would be, I believe, 12 and 13. So here we are at number 12. That's our colors there, gray and blue and green and orange. So that's high-speed CAN 2, 12 and 13. This is what the connector looks like. So it would be 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 and 5 from the bottom. So it would be 2, 3, 4, 4 and 5. These two right here should be our network. So we're going to look for that. Okay, and here's our map of the dashboard, and I was told the dashboard was taken off. So this could very well be an issue here. So 263 is somewhere here, and this glove box is removed. It's not on the truck. So maybe I can reach under here. I did not go to this passenger side, so maybe if I'm lucky, the problem might be right here. So we'll see. Interesting, it says from 2C263 it goes to C264, and both of them are showing like it's designated right here, the same location. So we'll see about that too. And then the next step from C264 is C210. So I'm gonna have to find C210 now. Okay, then it goes into here, C210. So this looks like possibly a fuse block or something like that, and this big connector here at the bottom. Maybe it might be even easier to start testing from here, depending if I have access over there. This could even be halfway plugged in or something like that. Next connector is C311, which this doesn't really show much. I'm gonna have to actually pull that connector up. I don't know if it's behind the block, and that's why it's pointing to like that. It could be behind, that's why we can't see it coming out of the back of that block, C311. Okay, C915, this is where we were working, and we tested from here down to the steering column when we had no connectivity. I noticed on this column the handle was open where I can get to the screws. So I'm going to pull this off and check this C219 as well. It's funny, the diagram is not mentioned in this C219 in the path, but if you look at the red wiring, it has to go down this way. So something might be wrong in the aftermarket wiring diagram compared to the actual, this is an OEM wire routing diagram. So there might be some discrepancy or model difference or something like that is why that diagram is different. But I think this is definitely the way to go. I'm going to start here and under the dash over there as well.